Studio space costs usually between like 20 and 40 bucks an hour. Voice lessons can cost anywhere between $100 and $300 an hour, depending on who you're working with. Dance classes are $20 a pop. A good pair of dance shoes that'll last you a couple years is about $300-400. Dance clothes are $20 to $150, depending on what you're buying and what you need. Yeah, it's a never-ending list of expenses.
You can start whenever you're ready.
I'm Katerina Papacostas, and I am currently in the Broadway show Tootsie as an ensemble member, and I also teach for the Flatiron School as a coding instructor. I grew up dancing and doing competitions and competitive dance groups. In high school, I just had a choir teacher who took an interest in me and insisted that I start taking voice lessons, and really sort of championed me and started me off in musicals and casting me in the musicals in high school. And then when it came time to decide what are you going to study in school, to my parents' shock and I'm sure initial dismay, I was like, well, this is what I like doing and I've got some skill at it. And so off we went, auditioning for colleges and stuff like that. Where's my signature? I signed Lily Tomlin's, because she's one of my favorites. She's incredible. I got most of my musical education at NYU. Being in New York, I could audition for everything, which was really, really great. But I was non-union. That meant waking up at 4:30 in the morning, being on the pavement at 5:30, so that I was the first of however many 500 girls would show up for auditions. My parents never said no to me, so I am really fortunate in that sense. But I think it really took them by surprise, and it was a tough pill to swallow when I wanted to pursue this in college, because they knew the financial instability. There's two parts to this business: being an artist and sustaining and auditioning and living when you're not working. Auditioning is grueling, both physically and emotionally, and you need to sustain yourself financially in those in-betweens, and everyone has in-betweens. I got in my union membership and then bartended in the city. It was a great learning experience on many levels, very lucrative. The owners of that bar own several other bars on that block and employed me between jobs on and off for about 5 years or so. I usually get here 40 minutes before the curtain. So if it's a 7:30 show, get here at like 6:50 or so. If I'm in a rush and I'm running late, it can take 10 minutes. If I have like a normal amount of time, it's like 20 to 30 minutes to do like full hair and makeup and everything. Everybody's on a different contract. Usually there's ensemble contracts, and then the principal contracts all vary depending on which role you play and how significant that role is in the show and what your resume is. If you're, a more high profile cast member, you obviously will often negotiate a higher salary. I did a bunch of small regional gigs, and my next big break was Kinky Boots, the national tour. And it was my 11th time auditioning for Nicola in Kinky Boots. I had auditioned for the Broadway company, I think 3 times, the touring company probably 5 or 6 times. I did not think it was gonna happen. And this time it stuck. So I've been coming to see shows since I was like 9 or 10. But now getting to walk around and like actually being a part of the Broadway community is pretty surreal. Questioning of whether you should keep doing this or not is a regular question. I don't know if everybody feels that way, or maybe not everybody would admit that. The amount of rejection is staggering. So the amount of times that you question your sanity for doing it it's high. It's a regular question. After Kinky Boots, I was up for a whole bunch of jobs in the fall, got really close to 4 really big shows, didn't get any of them, and I just said, all right, screw it, I'm gonna apply to coding school, and if I get in, then that's what we'll do. It was just a way to have a skill set that was more lucrative and a little less taxing than bartending and teaching fitness. For the first time in my whole life, it was as interesting and exciting to me as theater. This career is too challenging emotionally, financially, and physically to keep doing if you're not 100% sure it's what you want to be doing. Especially every time you get a no that maybe you really wanted to be a yes, you have to reevaluate, because this career is a pretty consistent up and down. But then you keep coming back to it.